What is up, y'all? Welcome to the Angery Nation Podcast. Thanks,
Thank you, bro. That's awesome.
No worries.
I love it, man.
Just had my buddy pop in. He's dropping off my thermal that I used to brought deer hunt.
But I did have to replace the battery.
Yeah, knew you would.
Yeah. But don't last as long. All right, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Let him borrow my thermal to go deer hunting with, and it paid off because he scored one. So, anyway, welcome back to the Angery Nation Podcast, y'all. We're running a skeleton crew this evening. Seaux and Imri are in Vegas, a SHOT Show. So they may pop in. Not planning on it, but it's a possibility with them too. You never know what the hell's going to happen. But as always, we have the illustrious Mr. T with us.
T.
Robert Toombs with Mountain Readiness. What is up, brother?
What's going on, y'all? It's been a bit. I kind of took like a little break from the whole social media and all that, so we're getting back into it with Sig. Of course, back in the saddle, we had the class with Alan this last weekend. Amazing class. I seen Andrew, Mr. Opie was in the house. How you doing, Opie? Have you warmed up and unthawed since this last weekend?
They got black
chilly, but it was awesome, man. We had a great class, great turnout. Just we'll be putting some content out here soon. But man, just doing the things here. I found out too that self-reliance and being self-sufficient is a great thing until it comes down to working on your own truck. So that's what I'm doing today.
Mine is presently in the shop, and right now the meter's at $3,358, and we're still going. So, well, yeah. And before we move on, though, Donnie, glad to see you here tonight, brother. How the hell you doing?
Right. Good, brother.
Everybody seeing the new video of you with the Dalton out there, but
yeah,
and it's working. We're selling blades. Mine's in the shop. 250,000 miles on a truck. Stuff's going to start happening. So had to replace body mounts. Needs the condenser for the AC replaced. It needs the coolant tank replaced. Both radiator hoses. Some lights around it replaced, and then I got a window regulator out on it too. So that's where we're at. Yeah, getting all that shit done. So, because I got to go to Louisiana here in the next couple of weeks to help pack Mel's mom up again to move back to Oklahoma.
Really?
I'm not moving her. I'm just helping her pack it up and paying the mover, of course.
Pack it up, pack it in.
Yeah.
That's it.
I told her I'm not taking you to Oklahoma again. I'm not driving out there. I'm just not doing it. So the movers are going to do it. All right, hang on. Okay. Seaux and Imri will not be on. Just got a text from them saying they can't get Wi-Fi. So
in Vegas?
Yeah, in Vegas. They're in the convention center, I guess. They're probably wandering around the floor. They're probably trying to go hot from the floor, but everybody else is on that Wi-Fi, so that'll never happen. I guess
for sure
they're texting the shit out of each other. But yeah, so we can handle it tonight. So what do you have to do to your truck, T? What's up with your truck, man?
Man, just working on your own stuff it's a two-edged sword. Like, it's great to have that knowledge and capability to do it, but like halfway through today, I'm like, man, I should have just took this to the shop.
Yes.
It was one of those, man, I'm just going to knock this out myself, and then get in there. But no, water pump on it. Of course, this is 6.7 Cummins. So it's remove the shroud and pull everything apart and water pump.
Oh, yeah.
Mount the belt's not so good. The tensioner is a little iffy, little bearing chatter, so you just find one thing after another. Front end, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild it. And, so it's just, it just keeps going. It's one of those depressing things. So not only is it depressing and it costs me money, but then I'm the one doing it, and it's like ridiculously cold out right now. So I was like, couldn't have this just broke when it was warm? Could we just had a warm day to work?
Yeah, I was going to say, and you're having to do this laying out in the cold. So every time you bang a knuckle on something, it hurts twice as fucking bad.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So that's how it rocked. That's how it worked. Let's see how. And I told him not to buy it. Of course, there's my lovely wife, which of course she's an expert mechanic, so she knows everything. Just kidding.
You should hear what happened to my truck. Absolutely nothing. I drive a Toyota. I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Well, you also don't keep them long enough for anything to go wrong with them. So I buy them and I keep them. Mine, I don't owe money on any of my shit. I'll take some repairs every now and then.
Yeah.
There's
But
a
it's
lot
good
to
to
be
be
said
able
for
to
that.
have those skills to do it. You know, I will.
Well, this is like our Jeep. Our Jeep needs brakes all the way around it because we just bought that thing, and I'm probably gonna do that myself. As much as I hate doing brakes, I'll probably just do it myself.
Yeah.
So, Patrick said, "What's the wind like where y'all?" It was negative 25 with nonstop wind today. It was a very chilly 40 here today, like 40, 41, 42.
40 in Florida is like below zero anyplace else.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And it rained all day yesterday. Or was it today?
Yesterday.
I can't remember.
And
Yeah, it rained all day yesterday. And so there's a lot of humidity, and that makes it even colder.
Yeah.
There's the Yoders. There's my buddy.
People laugh, but Florida cold is just different. It is. I mean, I've lived up north for years. I mean, it's just different. 40 here is literally like 20 any place else.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You throw that water. We got a little rain. Two mornings, Saturday and Sunday morning. We got some rain, and it was just above freezing on our class with Alan K. So we get up Saturday morning. We're already froze. We're froze half to death. In our little spider huts, because Alan's like, guess what? Let's build a primitive shelter that you're going to crawl into, and hopefully you make it through the night. So we did that, and we get up.
Non-fire dependent too, right? No fires. These were shelters designed to keep you out of the night with no fire.
And let me add this: no tools.
That was the other part. Yeah.
So it was build a hut. And this started at around noon. It's like, it's noon. You got till dark. Good luck. No tools. Build the hut. Make sure to put 3 to 4 feet of leaves on top of it, and your space between the ground and all this. And I got about a foot of leaves over mine, and I was like, that's pretty much all I'm doing at this point. That's it. All I need to do.
So how cold were you?
Pretty chilly. Pretty chilly. And so then it rained the next morning. Didn't get wet inside the hut, but going outside into the rain, it's raining on us. So get some wet weather gear on. And we're out there, huddled around a campfire. Everybody's trying to get some instant coffee in them and stuff. Of course, Alan, he's perfect. He's got all this level 7 gear, and he just hops out of his little cocoon and unfolds and skipping around, whistling. I'm like, everybody loved Alan until that point.
I've got a fantastic video of him. We did a survival class. It was again, same thing, basically teaching these guys to build shelters, primitive shelters, but we allowed them to have fires because we knew it was going to snow that night when we were out there. Well, Alan goes off and builds his own shelter. And it was a subterranean shelter because he is a burrowing creature. He'll burrow into the dirt in a heartbeat. And it snowed about 4 inches that night. And I've got a fantastic video that's just pristine white snow on the ground. And in the forest, we were in the woods, And I'm asking him, like, you ready to come out? He's like, yeah, hang on, I'll get my camera ready and everything. I want to film this. And it's just like this, just the snowy earth birthing his big ass as he comes out of this shelter. Just right out of the snow, man. It's amazing to see.
Yeah. I told you this, but I'm going to share with everyone. Like Alan, when I watched Alan on Alone years ago, I was like, man, this dude's cool. He's just got this charisma and ass. But you do not realize how tall that dude is.
He's tall.
Yeah.
Like that dude is up there. Like 6'5", I think, something like that. And he's all legs. And so right out of the gate, he's like, hey, T, get in front of everybody, and I want you to just ruck. We're going to ruck, and I want you to keep people moving. I want you to just wear them out. I'm like, whoa, how am I getting stuck? Like, how did this happen?
Rucking mine. You got
your rucking mine.
Yeah, so he just stuck me right out there in the front, and so I'm dying. I'm not even going to lie. I'm dying. And everybody, I just keep looking back. I'm like, I hope the other people behind me are suffering more than I currently am. That's all I could hope at that point. And but Alan, he's just doing hoppity skips and whistling and keeps circling the entire group as we ruck along.
Yeah.
Because his legs are 8 feet long.
He takes one step to 4 a normal man step.
Yeah.
He's like
8 feet long, dude. Like he's just hopping along, not even breathing hard. He's skipped to my loo, kicking his heels together. I'm like, man, this sucks.
You ever watch him when he's stalking? He's like,
this is a horrible class.
I had to take him one time to Texas for an event we were doing, but he was giving a private class at the time, so I had to go up in the mountains of North Georgia and find him. And another buddy of ours knew exactly where he was, so me and him got together. We hiked into this location, and ended up camped overnight. We hung out overnight, and the next morning we got up, came out. But as we were coming out, Alan, like you said, with his long legs, he's walking down a mountain now, so he's 3 times as fast as he normally is, and he disappears from sight. And so me and Jason, the guy I was with, we kind of tapped each other. We started slowing down, letting the student get ahead of us by a pretty good distance, because we both knew damn well at some point he's coming out of the bushes. Like he's out of sight of us. He's going to set up an ambush. We know damn well he's going to set up an ambush. And he did. And he got his student. He didn't get us, because we let the point man get way up there.
Man. Oh, and let me just add this. This is pretty awesome. I've got so I got to hang out with Alan. We did this class. We did a bunch of friction, fire in the rain. I mean, it was intense, but it was very fulfilling. And of course, Alan, he has this great way of just breaking stuff down, and explaining things. And so I nailed him down and I said, you got to come to Mountain Readiness. So Alan will be at Mountain Readiness for the whole 3 days. Number one.
Really? Yeah.
And of course, he's going to teach something. We don't know what, but he will be there. Of course, Donnie will be there teaching. So that's awesome. And then I just brought on Pat Miletich, the Croatian sensation, UFC Hall of Famer. And I think he had 29 UFC professional fights. He will be there teaching hand-to-hand combat and health. So we will have that guy hanging out with us, which I thought was awesome. And of course, this guy, he's big into the health industry and detoxing the heavy metals from your body. So he's gonna bring a whole lot to the table. I talked to him for about an hour the other day, just fast. He's way beyond just dusting knuckles off on somebody's melon. This guy is really good at what he does on the health side of things. So that's just a few of the people that we brought on here just recently.
That's awesome. Yeah, I need to take
this
class.
It's gonna be a great event.
You know why? Because I'm medalist. Can't take that medal out.
And yes, Christy, you finally get to meet Alan. He will be there.
That's right.
Yeah,
he'll be there. It'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to hanging with you too. I gotta go.
Hanging out with that dude, like he should charge admission to hang out with him, dude. Like I like to fancy myself fun to hang out with him. I just shut up and just watch this. I'm like pissing my pants the whole time. I mean, he is just awesome. Like they broke the mold God did when he made that cat, and trust me.
Yeah, he's a one of a kind. That's what I got to go up so we could do a debrief on his after action from Nepal. Yeah, we got a bunch of shit to talk about still. So there's gonna be a whole bunch of things happen as a result of that. Actually, there's some pretty interesting things in the works.
Really,
gonna be awesome. Yeah. Hopefully that all happens for sure. That's and man, what a trip! Like, talk about marking some stuff off the bucket list. Those pictures.
Well, that's been a dream of his, dude, his entire life, and so I hooked him up. We managed to finally make a solid contact with Sawyer Water Filters, and they gave him a shitload of filters to take with him.
Yeah,
and he was handing them out like Mardi Gras beads up there, and he had a huge impact on some people's lives up there too. In some seriously positive ways. He did some really amazing shit while he was there. So
and hopefully can continue. I mean, it has great promise. I know that.
Oh yeah. Well, with him, it's just gonna continue. It's gonna continue. So
a life well lived.
That's right. That is right. So have you guys been keeping track on Trump's ascension here and the things going on?
Yeah.
Because I know everybody's talking.
Winning.
Yeah, it is
winning. Like he's on a roll, baby. Put it all. I mean, you see Putin? come out and make that big statement congratulating Trump and saying we want to do.
Oh, no kidding.
Peace? Oh yeah, Putin, like state TV came out.
Yeah,
congratulating
he knows. So Patrick Seven says, I hear that Matt, Mr. NC Scout, has some top secret announcements he's giving at Mountain Readiness in May. Any of you folks know the secret and want to spill the beans? I know the secrets, and no, Patrick, you're gonna have to wait. But Matt's got some seriously cool shit in the works. I'm working on something right now for him, actually, to go to his product line. I got to call him tomorrow and talk about it. I have these ideas for everybody else, like to sell shit and make money. But never for me. But I always do it for somebody else. Well, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with packing and shipping shit. You know, Russ and Teresa handle the merch for us, and I don't want to be adding any more to their table, trying to deal with it. So,
yeah, Matt's definitely got some awesome stuff going on, and some classes coming. I'm going to be doing the classes in February over there with Matt and Wes Hightower from Gray Zone Rally Point. They're doing a class over there in February, which should be killer. And of course, he's got a storefront now. I love the fact that he's going to do the trade in and trade up deal.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. I was like, hells to the I can take stuff in there and trade it in towards other stuff. So maybe I can have one of those cool thermals like Chris has.
Like this one? Where'd it go? It was just sitting
there. Yeah, the one that we were staring at goats with when you were here last time, man.
This one here. This little guy right here. This one. This is the one the guy, he just dropped it off because I loaned it to him to go deer hunting right before season closed. And he met, and because he had it, he was able to see one, and with enough light left, he was able to make a shot. But then this is how he found it after he put it down.
Man.
So my next upgrade will be a weapon mounted thermal. Because when we go to Louisiana, while I'm out there, I'm going to be doing a little hog and yoke hunting at night. So we'll be doing some of that.
That is awesome. I can attest that looking through that is a game changer by far.
Yeah, it's night and day. And the resolution on that one's extremely good. And it's buy once, cry once. I'm a firm believer in that. So I'll wait until I can actually afford to buy what I want instead of buying something to kind of fill the spot. But
I watched the back to Trump. We were chit-chatting a little bit with the inauguration. I fully expected something really crazy to happen, which
so did I.
The theory that everything is so quiet on the left side. Like it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
They're getting their asses
what really
handed
blew
to
my
them.
mind was just looking at the numbers of the pardons. Like, how do you say you're guilty without saying you're guilty? I mean, 8,000, over 8,000 pardons Biden did during his term.
Wow.
What in the world?
I didn't know
next
that
was Obama. What was it? Obama did like 1,600, 1,900, something like that. And then everybody else was like 200 to 300.
Yeah. Well, you remember, if you recall, back when or during the election for Biden, with Biden and Trump, the media was just frothing at the mouth about the potential idea of Trump pardoning his family. And they were all on there saying basically, well, a pardon is an admission of guilt. Because actually, legally, if you accepted a pardon, part of that is admitting your guilt to the crime. Yes. If you accept the pardon. And Trump didn't pardon any of his family. But Biden did all of his, and the media suddenly is absolutely silent on that point. They won't even talk about it, So they've admitted the crimes. The only thing Biden didn't do was pardon himself. So if Trump wants to go after him for the pay to play and money laundering and shit through Ukraine, he can do that. And a condition of Biden's family accepting those pardons is that they will have to testify if they're subpoenaed, and they cannot plead the fifth. So, and if they perjure themselves on the stand, it makes their pardon void, I do believe, and then they can be prosecuted for the perjury and the original crimes. So they've kind of left the door open on themselves.
But I think that alien that's in his body is just going to step out, and that shell of a man is going to check out here in the near future. So there ain't gonna doesn't matter. But,
I want one of them. How you get one of them pardons, man? Come on, I ain't done nothing, but I'm just saying, how you
I want a presidential pardon that covers me for all past and future crimes, which I don't think you can actually write a pardon for an unspecified just future crime. That means you can go out and do whatever the hell you want. Oh, I've already been pardoned. You can't arrest me for it. So yeah, that's kind of.
He covered all the bases. That's for sure. It was like he pardoned his whole family.
Yeah.
Cousin, third cousin removed. Yeah. I mean, everyone, all 8,000.
I've been kind of like I do. I get up pretty early in the morning and have my 5 cups of coffee. Not exaggerating. And I go on the internet and I look and I'm big on social media and YouTube, and the audio video stuff that I do at Digital Don AV on YouTube. But I'm seeing like just a dumbing down of all the, you got your sites where it's the liberal sites and they're like, oh, it's Hitler and Elon Musk is doing the Nazi salute. I'm like, they're digging, but it's almost like tens of millions of people, maybe more. Deep down inside, they were just sick to death of all this shit, but they couldn't say anything because you get attacked. You're a misogynist, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, or whatever label. But I think those are the people like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for Kamala, and they went there and voted for Trump, and secretly people want this shit to go away because it's ridiculous. And yeah, it's a movement. It's like a wave of stuff. I mean, in all even the media to a point. I mean, it's like they're irrelevant, and not that they were relevant, but it's a paradigm shift in this country, and you got to see it. I know, Chris. I know you pay attention to everything, and I know you do too.
Oh yeah,
to a point, T.
Yeah.
When you're not milking cows and fixing trucks and shit, but it fills my heart. Nobody wants to, go after somebody. Like if somebody really is a woman trapped in a man's body, and there's physical reasons and what, nobody's cruel like that. Nobody I want to know, but putting all of this shit to the forefront, the DEI stuff was just ridiculous. I mean, it's merit based. It's got to be. I think he what is it? Where you have to hire a certain amount of people of color.
Affirmative action. Yeah, he rolled that back.
Rolled that back.
He did. He killed affirmative action, and he placed all federal DEI employees. If that's your job, it's the DEI horse shit. They are officially on paid leave as of today until they can be terminated.
Yeah.
So
and there's not a cruelness out there. They've really built up this scary monster ghost of white, right wing, white supremacist, whatever. I don't even know any people like that. I mean, and if anybody was going to know people like that, it would be us, right? You would think. We don't even know, and we wouldn't associate with that. That's such a bullshit thing to put out there and create this scary monster. I mean, yeah, there's some idiot skinheads and Nazis and idiots, but there's idiots on every side. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the left has used Nazi and racist so much at this point that the words are meaningless. Trump coming out and saying that the United States federal government now only recognizes 2 genders, and that's it. The tranny community acts like they're now being hunted in the streets, and there's a bounty on their heads the way they're behaving. Yeah. And no, it's you guys are getting exactly what you want. You're like the rest of us now. You have the same rights the rest of us have. It's just now you can't get somebody fired for not participating in your fantasy. That's all. That's the only difference. I mean, this whole premise of people walking around and screaming in other people's faces and demanding that you call them what they want to be called. Yeah. I mean, sure, if you want to, great, that's fine, no whatever. But if you don't want to, you can't compel them. And that's the thing. You can't compel others to participate in your fantasy. And that's the way it should always been. It's been bullshit for all these years. We've let this single digit fraction or single digit percentage of society,
they bullied us,
make the other, the majority of society, the other 94%, I think it is, take a knee, which some of us never took that knee. I never participated in nobody's fantasy, and I was never afraid of
some took 2 knees
voicing my opinion about it either. So, which is why I'm not monetized on Twitter or YouTube or anywhere else. I don't make money from none of them because I don't behave well according to their their logic. So
community standards.
Again, I just want to emphasize, in our group, our inner circle with T and the boys from Tactical Rifleman, just Alan, the whole crew. I mean, these are kind-hearted people, man. You know what I mean? Like good, solid people. We're not going around going, those sons of bitches. Blah, blah, blah.
Nope.
Not a dude. Like, there's just none of that there. I mean, my daughter's gay, and I don't care. I'm proud of her. I love her. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm tired of being villainized and labeled. I'm big in the audio video world. And if I talk about this kind of stuff, you're like, oh my God, you're a Trumper and you're listening. Yeah, fuck you, dude. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to say that.
No, you're past that. You can fuck it. You can say it all you want now. Only
the
first minute, dude.
I'm like, dude, I write poetry. I like Broadway shows. I like this. I like that. We're complex.
Sounds pretty gay. I'm just saying that Broadway shows, musicals.
Stop it.
I told you you bought that skirt at Forever 21. I told you did.
I don't even know what that is. All right, Mel. But bitch, I'll get out in the dirt and build a shelter and run, drills in the field. I mean, what's that got to do with anything, man? I just, I'm tired of the labels, man. And I just want it to come to an end. It's time. People are just fed up.
There's my boy Yoder giving you both a nod, so I just want to put that up there. Matt's a great guy. He's who dropped off the thermal just a minute ago. He's a great dude. He's a good friend. He's a great guy.
Dude.
Mr. Brother. Good people. Oh, Ben's around now. Ben's
good. I'm glad.
Oh shit. Sorry.
I like
my phone's going off. Who doesn't?
I like too.
Mel says I have the same skirt. It's been
Matt King, long time no see.
There he is, Mr. Matt King, the fire whisperer himself.
Fireman. Yeah. Boy, he worked for it. He worked for it hard, and he earned every single bit of that.
You do. Well, if you're going to do primitive fire, you're going to work for it. I mean, watching some guys, like you can watch Alan do a hand drill fire in just a couple of minutes,
Well, sometimes.
Most of the time. He did it. He did it there. It was wet, damp, just rained, and he knocked one out real quick. It was amazing and sickening all at the same time.
Why I carry extra lighters.
Mr. Homestead Medical, I will try to remember to shoot you a message tomorrow, my buddy. That's why I carry a lighter too. That's also why I carry flares in my ruck, because I will get a fire if I need a fire.
Me too.
Hey, Homestead Medical, you got my address too. You can go ahead and throw me something in the mail as well.
Very good. Speaking of,
Alan makes it look easy. Matt said
he does.
Yes, he does.
He's part bear or some shit.
Have you guys seen the pile of immigrants stacking up on the Mexican border down there? And like there's huge numbers of them, and they're all really upset because when they enter Mexico from South America, they're given a permit that gives them 20 days to get out of Mexico.
Ooh.
And the media, everybody's losing their minds about these poor people who are going to be sent back. And we're like, well, that's the fucking point. Mexico don't want them either. Obviously, if they only give them 20 days to be there, Mexico doesn't want them. And neither do we. And, AOC and people like that keep talking about asylum seekers. Every motherfucker now that approaches our borders is an asylum seeker. They figured out the game, because if you claim that's a legal protective status. But when you ask them, why are you coming here? And if it's, I want a better life, or I got to make more money, that's not a reason for asylum. Political persecution, religious persecution, whatever, or, is your government trying to kill you? That's why you get asylum. Not because I want to make more money. And I feel for the people down there. I do. Life sucks. It's hard for them. Change it. Don't try to come here and just change it there. Fix it there.
And they just need a enforceable system that works. Because listen, the guy that cuts my, and I'm going to do this as gently as I can. The guy that cuts my grass, is a Mexican guy, and he's wonderful, super nice, friendly, works hard, doesn't charge an arm and a leg. He's got a good little business for himself, and I think that dude's a benefit as long as he's legally here. I got zero issue, man. With there's I think overwhelmingly the majority of most Mexican people are good, solid Christian, hardworking people.
I got no beef with them as a people. I got a beef with the illegal ones that become criminals entering the country. That's it.
I am 1,000,000% with you. I'm just saying they just have to enforce the laws and do it, and it just got out of hand. I don't know what they were thinking, man. Oh, I kind of do know what they were thinking. They thinking political clout and all that. But going back to Trump and Biden, what he did, pardoning Fauci, man, that of all the things he did, that raised a lot of eyebrows, man. To me, it did for sure. That's crazy.
And his son, I mean, that he wasn't going to pardon.
Well, obviously,
yeah. All of it is. All of it's. I mean, like I said, it's the clearest admission of guilt you can have. So he didn't pardon though. Jack Smith. Jack Smith didn't get a pardon.
Nope.
Jack Smith, and he begged for one too, and Biden told him no because Biden was pissed at Smith for not getting the conviction of Trump, and so he wouldn't pardon him as a result of it, knowing that Trump's going to probably crucify him.
Oh, he's not petty like that.
Yeah, this is not even petty. What they did to him was illegal. Vladimir Putin is reportedly seeking to have Anthony Fauci extradited to Russia to face COVID-era crimes against humanity charges as part of a deal to end the war in Ukraine. Oh, please offer that little weasel up as a sacrificial lamb to end the war in Ukraine.
That's the best.
Because here's the thing:
I've read all week.
All those pro-Ukrainian people, they always have the Ukraine flag in their bio. There's usually, there was the little syringe in their bio back when COVID was the thing. So they're all huge vax supporters. So that means they're all big Fauci supporters. So it would be hilarious to me for Trump to tell them, all right, we can end the war in Ukraine, and Ukraine will even get Crimea back. We got to give them Fauci. Let's see how much they support Ukraine then. Let's see how much they support them then.
Did you see when during the inauguration they had that lesbian, obviously pastor or whatever come out? Did you see the looks on their faces? Like
JD Vance was fucking hilarious watching him. So she was appointed by Obama 14 years ago, and I imagine Trump's looking into if he can unappoint her. I would feel fairly safe in saying.
There was a lot of whispering going on back behind there. Did you see the whispers from Trump's son? He walked over and got right in Biden's face as they're exiting.
That from the other angle, that's not the case. He was actually leaning over, shaking Kamala's hand, and
shaking his hand. Yeah.
It looked like he said something to Biden, but he didn't.
Showing what he was doing.
Here's one thing though. Did you guys pay much attention to Melania Trump's outfit?
Dude,
I know this sounds silly to say.
Gangster, dude, I don't care what anybody says. She was stunning. That was a gangster ass. But people are like, oh, she's like, I mean, just haters, dude. She
dresses to the hilt.
She also dresses for a reason. So this may sound kind of silly, but you know what she really looked like, especially because there was one photo with her head down just a little bit. You couldn't see her eyes. V for Vendetta, and there's that white V in the blue suit and the same kind of hat.
Same hat.
I'm just saying.
Don't get QAnon on me, dude. Come on.
I'm not saying QAnon. I'm just saying she might have been making a statement. Possibly. But it's very
than any of these liberal.
They're all losers. Yeah.
She definitely had nothing for anyone up there along with her. The Biden.
Go back in history. You
could tell there was
Eleanor Roosevelt. They all wore hats. I mean, she looked back. I saw her. I'm like, wow, that is just absolute. Yeah, Carmen Sandiego. She was badass, dude. I thought his daughter looked amazing too. They were classy, elegant. I'm not here on Angry American. We're going to talk about fashion and first ladies. But
I just wanted to bring it up because that one photo, as soon as I saw it, I was just like, holy shit, that looks just like from the movie shot. I mean,
he is amazing.
Carmen Sandiego. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
And Larry Dial, I haven't forgot about you. I'll text you when we're done here, bro. Sorry, I just got to get that out there because I know it's been all day. You've been waiting on that. My bad.
What y'all think about Elon? You know, with
I love
his
it.
I like
speed,
Elon,
where
man.
he's at in
I
things.
love
like,
that dude. He's been sent here to save the human race, dude.
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
do.
It's just something not right about that dude. There's something just in the back of that,
Well,
that little hair.
He's autistic. He's autistic to
He's
start with. You
Asperger's.
got to remember
Definitely
that. He's
is.
on this.
I raised
Yeah,
an
he-
Asperger's kid, dude. He's totally, but
He's got that, but he's also, what he's doing. Like, so I just saw a video a few minutes ago. He's coming out with a sub $200 powered wheelchair for people who have mobility issues. Those things are thousands of dollars usually. Sub $200. A sub $200 modern smart TV that's not like the shit you're getting everywhere else for thousands of dollars. Sub $200 TV. And he's even got this tiny house thing going for less than 20 grand. It's a tiny house that's self-sufficient. It provides its own power. It does everything itself. So I think the guy's an innovator. I think he approaches things from a different angle because of his Asperger's or autism or whatever it is. And I think he's doing great things. Now, is he a perfect person? Nah, no one is. No one's perfect. But I think he's our modern day Einstein, to be honest with you. I really think he's the modern day Einstein.
In history was not flawed when you look deeper into it. I mean, what he's innovated and what he's done and brought to the table and what he will continue to do. I would like to go in a time machine and see what history says about him in 100 or 200 years. I mean, he is a great, one of the greats. I mean, he really is. I don't know how you
like Patrick 7. I'm a
hairless cat. A hairless cat. Yeah. I think he's awesome. Deep on the HB1 visas. Yeah, they did. You're right, Kim. There's no, like I said, he's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I think that the guy's genuinely a good dude. That's my opinion. He's definitely a weirdo. But Donnie, you said, in 200 years they'll look back at what he did and see what they think of him. In 200 years, you'll be able to ask the AI robot or the robot that's walking around with his fucking consciousness in it. You'll be able to ask that robot what he thinks in 200 years.
Yeah.
Dark MAGA.
Yeah, Dark MAGA. Yeah, that's gonna be the new Marvel superhero, Dark MAGA. Yeah, ICE is making sweeps already. So you guys, have you heard about the substantial numbers of illegals that are now deporting themselves? They're running south again already, preemptively getting their asses out of the country before they get caught.
Which saves tax dollars. I mean, I think that's great. Save a couple
always
bucks.
practical.
Ain't got much to spread around.
But we do need to prepare for AI, and one of the ways you can prepare for the AI is to get one of the Tomahawks hand built, custom, hand forged, guaranteed to take apart an AI, built by the man T himself. It's a small price to pay for perfection. Sorry.
Thanks for that plug. Thanks for that.
But he notice he didn't give the name of your company. I'm just pointing it out. I'm just saying he didn't put that out there.
Well, because the people here are smart. They can figure it out.
Okay. All right. If you say so. I was giving you the opportunity to redeem yourself. I just think right now,
how long you got?
How long you got? Yeah, right. It's only an hour show, and we're already a half hour into it. I just think it's a pretty incredible time in the country right now. It feels like there's an energy of hope. Now, granted, the left side, they're melting down. They're all fleeing the country. They're all doing whatever. And threatening loads of violence. I don't know if you guys are catching any of that.
Yeah.
What?
There was one the other day. Some little lefty came out and said, "I am declaring war on Republicans. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Blah, 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 blah."
Go away. Go away.
And and the videos of them doing so are remaining on TikTok, which came back up. Everybody noticed that, right? Went down for a minute. Ooh, and it came right back up. So that was interesting too. But they're losing their minds, but they're not doing jack shit right now because it's too cold outside for them, honestly. So this spring and summer will be interesting to see. I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen any attacks. Did you guys see the Syrian phone that was found on a railroad track in Texas? Or no, sorry, down near San Diego. Mm-hmm. So as a woman found a phone. Turns out it belonged to a Syrian, and it had a shit ton of voice messages on it where they were talking back and forth through like WhatsApp using voice. and it's a Syrian cell trying to get to San Diego. That's where they're going to be operating out of. And they turn it over to ICE and FBI and everybody. ICE will probably do something with it, but I doubt the FBI will even look at it twice. But ICE has already started making their sweeps too. So they're starting to round them up and deport them. And just saw this afternoon, Eric Adams, New York City mayor, is going to be removing the city's sanctuary city status. They're doing away with it. They don't want that designation anymore.
Who?
What?
New York City.
Oh, did you see the mayor of New York on Tucker? Like, that guy's actually reasonable. I was shocked.
Well, in his words, but not in his actions.
Well, he came
not in his actions. Yeah, he's talking. He'll say whatever because he's a fucking politician. But look at what he's done. He's like any politician. He'll tell people what they want to hear to get what he wants. But then he'll do
so
as he's
going back to
I guess. I don't know.
That Syrian phone, Chris. I actually got some of the transcripts from that.
Yeah.
You want? I'll read you a couple. Durka Jamal. Did you see the teeth on that goat? Oh, he was a fine specimen. I could go on, but I mean it.
Good God, Donnie.
We can't have fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, boss.
I wonder why the messages stopped moving. There's plenty of them here. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Fiv nailed it. Get to Mountain Readiness in May and learn the skills to survive the summer of love too. Because there's one coming probably. Like I said, though, I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen any more attacks. We had the one in New Orleans, New Year's Day, then Tesla truck thing, which that whole one, I don't think that was a terror attack.
Altogether. Yeah.
That's something else. And there's still a lot of chatter in the community about that.
Did you see the Jacksonville cop trying to disarm the guy and shot him in the leg?
Oh, yeah. There was so much wrong with that whole thing.
Whoops.
Because number one, in Florida, there's no duty to inform. You don't have to tell an officer you're armed. And number two, And number two, you do not have to allow them to disarm you. They can ask for your weapon. His mistake was he said, "Yeah, go ahead." He should have said, "No, I'll keep mine and I'm fine." And in the process of some stupid ass, probably DEI hire. Sorry, I'm not saying about all women cops, but that one shot the guy in the leg. She could have just as easily grabbed his holster and removed the entire holster, pistol, everything, because it was just a clip. But no, she stuck two fingers in the trigger guard and pulled the trigger on the dude when she was trying to disarm him.
Yeah, wow. Morgan sitting there going,
oh yeah,
that's worth about 3.5 million.
Well, she got fired, Larry. Yes, but she should be prosecuted criminally for it too. At least her negligence or something. What she did was unsafe.
Let me jump in on that too, though. Chris is the sad and it. Yes, negligent on her part. There's no doubt. But man, I'm going to tell you right now, it is sad to see the lack of training that police are actually getting in this day and age. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
Amber, being law enforcement for 6 years and doing all those type of things. And I know quite a few police officers and sheriff's deputies and detectives. And it's just mind blowing that these BLET programs and stuff, like they just went to a 6-month BLET, but I see these police coming out of here. They are just as green as they get. They have no idea of constitutional law. And some of these stories that I hear, I mean, it's a free for all. It's a free for all. And so the system is broken on that end. These law enforcement agencies, shame on them for not doing a better job of training these officers. And of course, we need the funding to go there to properly train these officers.
Yep.
I'm not going to name the schools, but there was a school that was sending officers while they were in BLET to Troy's Gate.
Hey, Chris, I think there's a lot of noise in your background.
Is there? All right, hang on a minute.
Yeah, I can't hardly hear.
See what you got.
I hear no. Oh, you need to go put the big toe in.
La la
So,
la.
I've trained quite a few police officers and shot with a
Yeah.
a bunch. Some are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them know the basics, but they don't know combat shooting, defensive
Yes.
shooting.
Well, even on that side, like what I was saying is the Troy's Gate deal, they were sending these BLET students there, and a lot of these young people went to Troy's Gate, and then immediately after going through that training, went back and quit BLET. And so the college said, we're done sending these people up there because we're losing students, and now we're not getting our funding, right? Which in all actuality, that's exactly what we should be having. We shouldn't be having people becoming law enforcement officers who can't make it through training like that.
That they get introduced to as close as you can get to real world lethal force encounters, and then they find out there that they can't hack that, which that can be overcome by training, which is why you go to Troy's Gate for stress inoculation, to learn how to deal with that, to learn how to control yourself and your mind and your actions and everything that's going to happen in that bad minute,
Yeah.
So Troy's Gate should have been looked at as a tool by them, not as a threat, which is really weird.
Right. Well, that's the thing is these schools, these colleges, they care about one thing, is how many students make it through the BLET and graduate, because it bumps their numbers, it makes them look good, and it comes down to the almighty buck. I mean, we really have fallen short when it comes to law enforcement. That needs to be revamped completely, because that's where we see these big whoopsies, like where she shot the guy in the leg. It's just a lack of training. That's what it comes down to.
Well, it's a lack of training, but it's also a bit of a culture in law enforcement. And for all my Leo buddies out there, don't take this the wrong way, but this concept of officer safety being the number one paramount concern, when it should be everybody's safety. Yes, the officer needs to be safe. If someone's acting sketchy, treat them accordingly. But officer safety isn't the catch-all reason to violate somebody's civil rights or to mistreat somebody or any of that stuff. And then, training. This guy was fully compliant. He was extremely cooperative. There was zero reason to take him out of his vehicle for running a red light.
Yep.
They could have went up there. They asked if he was armed. He said yes. I'd have probably said yes too. But as soon as an officer said, "Well, I'm gonna get you to step out so I can take you out," I'd have been like, "No, you're not fucking doing that. Or you're not disarming me. You legally can't. We're cool. Write your ticket. I'm not your problem. Write your ticket, and we'll be on our way here."
We're cool.
Yeah. And but the officers need to get a different mentality. But unfortunately, society kind of drives that mentality. I think we need to start pushing #refund the police to get them the money and the equipment and the stuff that they need for more training. And so we can try to get rid of some of this stuff that's happening that's causing more problems. I back the blue 100%, but I do not back bad cops at any degree whatsoever. And I think that the good cops out there need to be ratting on the bad ones. So,
I mean, the guy cooperated, but there was a lot of cops there too for a stop like that. There was at least 3.
Well, yeah, because somebody put out I think there's 4, because somebody put out on the radio that there was a gun. Just because somebody has, especially in the state of Florida with constitutional concealed carry, everybody can be armed in this state. If you're over 21 years old, you can carry a gun, and you don't need a permit. You don't need crack. You can just carry a gun. Now, if you are, I highly recommend you get some training, because otherwise, you could find yourself in prison over something stupid. So, but law enforcement needs to stop acting like every person who's armed is a threat to them, because we're not. None of the 3 of us sitting here are any threat to law enforcement whatsoever.
No, I fully cooperative. I mean, I roll down all my windows, get my license and registration, and I put my hands on the steering wheel. And I'm courteous.
There is the other side of this too, though. We do live in this society too, where there is a ton of people who their sole purpose is to go out and challenge police with the whole walking down the street with their
Oh, yeah. Those
AR
people are
strapped on
douchebags,
them,
dude.
and you know, or I'm not going to roll
fishing,
my
so I got
window
my
down.
AR-15. You know, that's just bullshit.
Yeah, that's just because I can, I'm going to attitude. But you know someone's going to call the cops, and these guys are doing it. They're just looking for the confrontation. They're just hoping for the confrontation. And yeah, that's fucked up too. But that's what happens with rights. With rights comes responsibility, you know, and you should be able to exercise it properly. But at the same time, you know, most cops, especially in Florida, when they roll up on that guy, they know exactly what he's doing. And they don't usually mess with him too much. It's just the assholes that egg it on to try to get, you know, views on their YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, it's on both sides.
I know some people that did that shit. They would go down St. Pete Pier, Chris, where we went fishing that one night, and carry their sidearms, open carry, and immediately the people call the cops, and the cops come, and it's a whole shit show about you don't know what you're doing, you don't know the law. I mean, dude, why do that? Why make people uncomfortable? Just, you know, because it's your right. Okay, well, I mean, common sense is a right. Well,
yeah. That's why I'm just against open carry altogether, because common sense.
So am I.
Common sense, you shouldn't even do it. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
I think it should be legal. In case, you know, you're going hunting to and from, walking, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's in Florida, it's supposed to be legal if you're going hunting, camping, or fishing. You're supposed to be able to open carry a weapon. Although that's a gray area because cops are always going to come at you. But I'm not against open carry. I'm against people actually open carrying, like the dudes going to Walmart with a AR-15, or, you know, most of, you know, if you look, most of we all train, and we've trained for decades, and for civilians, we're probably as capable as it gets, or real close to it. I mean, I can comfortably say that because I've shot with Chris, and I just know he's just a mean, ornery, nasty fucker. So, but most of the people that do that have like Uncle Mike's holsters with like a desert eagle. You know what I mean? Some dumb shit. Like,
carrying a high point and Uncle Mike's holster. Yeah. I've seen that for real. Oh, yeah. I saw one in a Walmart, North Carolina one time. I don't remember what the pistol was he has, but I remember he had just a black nylon Velcro shoulder rig, and he was wearing a wife beater. You know, and I'm on the aisle. It really is, man. It is, man.
I was in Walmart, bro. I was in Walmart, and there was a dude in a wheelchair in front of me in line, and he had it literally was the Uncle Mike's black, you know, little big, and he's got a 45 dropped in this thing attached to his wheelchair, where I could just reach up and just pull it out. You know, it's just right there. I'm like, why would you do this?
Wheels on wheels, man.
I think open carrying gives away your biggest asset. Is that they already know you're armed. You know, if they don't know you're armed, you got that ace in the hole. That'll change the entire dynamic if it comes to, you know, any kind of fuckery. Because in my experience, I've never had to shoot anybody, thank God, but I've had to pull a gun a few times, and it always changed everybody's attitude involved every time.
I have too. And
absolutely.
It worked, but I never shot. I mean, I've never shot. If I could go my whole life without hurting another human being, I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, me too. I've never shot nobody, but I will say I did pistol whip a guy one time because he was trying to mug me, and he was just so close. It was easier to hit him. It was easier to hit him in the teeth with that pistol. I did do that, but no, I hit this guy in the mouth with a Beretta. I hit him in the mouth with a Beretta, knocked two of his teeth out, because that's just where we were. It was easier to do that than shooting. So.
Yeah, I was actually at a light downtown Fort Wayne on my Harley, and I used to get off work at midnight. So, you know, prime time for bad stuff to happen. I was rolling home and pulled up to the light, and, you know, I see the guy walking towards me from one direction, and then I look to the other side. Here's another one coming, and I reached out. I always kick my bike in neutral when I'm sitting in the light anyway, so I got free and reached into my vest pocket where I keep my pistol, and I just picked it up and set it on top of my visor of my bike. And then all of a sudden, about face, they walk away. You know, that was one of those times without it, because it was a rash going on. Like they would run up on you, beat your brains in, pick your bike up, take off on it. You know, they were stealing bikes. But you know, that's the type of stuff where if I'd have had it just hanging off, maybe he would have walked up behind me and just pulled it out and used it against me. because that's usually what happens. So, but having that inside my coat, boom, instantly here it is. That's it. Everybody goes their separate.
My thoughts are, if you're going to carry a gun, seek out training, and not just training on proficiency with it. Obviously, that's number one, but training on understanding the laws and understanding how the laws really work, and finding, like, as an instructor, when I do the concealed stuff, and I still do concealed permits because it's advantageous to have it if you travel. If you want to buy a gun, you don't want to wait multiple days. It just adds another element to it. I think people still should have their concealed permits.
Absolutely.
But knowing the laws, but understanding the laws, not just, because most instructors go, Section 4 says blah, blah, blah. It's all a gray area. You have to understand that you may have to go to trial of your peers, and that's super, super important. And, I'll carry how you want and do whatever you want, whatever, dude. There's a decorum to it. This is a deadly weapon. A firearm should be taken with the most seriousness all the time. And there's a trap that us gun people that shoot and train all the time get a little bit too casual sometimes with guns. And you guys, indies.
No, that lack of training is bad, man. That lack of training, somebody get killed.
And the continued awareness, paying attention to it, not getting too comfortable with it, if that makes sense. But
give it the respect it's due. You got to you got to respect weapons at all times, all weapons at all times. And some people do get a little cavalier with them. So
yes, well, and some just carry it around and never use it. Like, hey, look, I look cool. Or it just sits there and has never been fired. Speaking of training, though, shout out for Homestead Medical there, because if you're in I believe it's Texas, that Chuck is doing a class with Sonny Pazookas.
No shit with Sonny.
Really
that'd be fucking. If you're in Texas, I don't know nothing about that class, but fucking go. If Sonny and Chuck are together, because Chuck's a funny guy too, but Sonny's fucking hilarious, and you get them two together, that's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be a trip. And I mean, I wish I was closer to that area, because I think from the gist of the class, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chuck, but I think it's Sonny's going to be teaching you how to make the holes, and then Chuck's going to be teaching you how to close them up. Is
how to plug them up. Yeah.
So it should be a really good class. If you're in that area, man, get on Homestead Medical and check that out. I think they still have some open spots.
Sonny is such a nice guy, but dude, like, he's intimidating. Like, if he gets that look on his face, like that dude, you're like, whoa, easy, man. Like,
no, I had the pleasure of talking to Sonny for a little bit. We were trying to get him to come to Mountain Readiness. He's currently he was already booked. Maybe the next run we can get him out, because I would love to have him out to hang out.
I ran into him up at SOE at an event up there. It was fun to hang out with Sonny and talk to him for a while, because we hadn't seen each other in a long time. So it was really funny. Great guy.
Chuck said, "Yep, a class like no other. Edged weapons. That would be a wicked class to check out, man."
Yeah, that's some terrifying shit. Edged weapons.
Kung Fu.
Yeah. Well, T, you got anything coming up? Anybody needs to know about? You want them to know about? Pearls of wisdom, anything like that you want to share?
Oh man, no matter where you stand on what's coming up in the world, I think we're in for an exciting year. I don't care how you cut it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be some crazy stuff going on. But don't nicest, most terrifying man I've ever met.
That sums him up right there. That sums him up.
There's a few of those guys. We know a few of those guys.
Yeah, we do.
But man, everybody gets all laxed when we do that. You're like, yes, we're saved. Trump's coming back in. Look at all these executive orders he signed, and how everything. Don't let up. Like, keep up on your preps and keep up on your training. Go see Homestead. Come see us at Mountain Readiness. We've got tons of classes. We've got tons of people that we're still adding. There you go, Jax, Carl, Mr. Chris, Bear will be there. Like I said, Pat Militich, and the list is. I think we're at 43 or 45 instructors so far, and it's January. So it's going to be,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be nonstop. And we have a ton of awesome classes, which, by the way, Homestead Medical is doing a paid class outside of the event. So is Matt, NC Scout, is doing a wicked comms class. Corey, of course, Simon is going to be doing classes during it. We just got a ton of stuff, man. Come hang out and stay current. Keep up on your training, because we're going to see some stupidity this year. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to happen.
Yeah, you need to look at Trump's win as more opportunity to get better prepared. Don't buy into the Trump slump. Oh, the world's safe. I'm going to sell my guns and shit now. That's not the thing. It's you got 4 more years, hopefully, of getting even better prepared than you are now. Donnie, what do you got for folks, man?
Well, real quick, is Sonny going to teach his knife? Because I've probably taken 15 knife edge weapon fighting classes in my life, and about 14 of them were shit that would get you killed. So if you got somebody that knows what they're doing, I'd love to,
Well,
Sonny knows
that one there is Sonny is teaching. That one's in Texas. We actually, though, have Sentinel Combatives is going to be teaching some blade work during Mountain Readiness. So, but Sonny, like I said, Sonny was booked when I talked to him. He was already booked for a class during the May 2nd through the 4th. But we are working to try to get him on with us.
Cool. Awesome.
So I'm knee deep into the design of the next Angery American blade, and I will share that with you shortly, Chris, when I've got something. Some ideas, and that's going to be the Thad, which is going to be in the book, obviously Thad has a Pakistani cheap, flea market Bowie knife, but this ain't going to be that.
No, this is definitely not going to be that.
This is going to be like the Dalton, a multi-purpose, multi-function, bet your life on, it's going to be the real deal. So
I love the Bowie knives. Nothing wrong.
Yeah,
with
it's great. Just trying to figure out the size and the scale and what features to put into it and that type. Trying to incorporate that coffin handle is
that's a must. Though.
I know it is. I know.
Man.
I know. I'm
that coffin handle is off the hook, man. That's just classic.
Yeah, and it's it's all going to be one piece. It's not going to be like with the cross guard and all that. That's just too difficult.
No.
Cost a ton of money.
And then that can't be a full tang blade if you're doing that guard, and I don't want that shit on there.
Yeah, it's got to do a rat tail. And to be honest with you, those are all points of failure. A Bowie knife, even a good one, is not a super durable field tool. It's just not. They're all hollow ground, and they're just not.
This is going to be a modified Bowie, just like we made a modified kukri. So
that's
what this is going to be.
And it will be fully zombie ready.
Yes,
I say zombie capable. But you said anything in a pinch is zombie tool. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
got it.
Like a dolo.
Yeah, hey, it worked in a gun shop, man. God, I had every gun in the world at my disposal. No, it was just one big one. It had a handle like a nightstick. That's why it was there. Anyway, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Next week we'll be back on. I'll check the schedule, who guests are going to be. I'm still rounding up some folks and lining up some new guys that you haven't heard from before. Some of them I'm pretty excited about. But same bat time, same bat channel next week. And you guys know the drill. Be good or be good at it. And we will catch you next Wednesday.